Hello everyone, my name is Esther. I love my lifestyle, doing TikTok dancing, also doing my lifestyle exercising, and also traveling as well. My last traveling is DRC Congo.
Hello, my name is Patty. I'm an intern at the Supported Internship Program, and currently I'm working at Yoda dealing with missing passport inquiries.
Hello, my name is Harry. I am a hobbyist sketcher, artist, just your stereotypical nerd, and I'm happy to be here today, talking with all of you.
My name's Sean. I like drawing, playing music. I like chocolate.
Hello, my name is Cyrus. I am 20 years old. I make music in my spare time and create programs as a hobby and a career. Absolutely fascinated with programming. I have an obsession with efficiency. I will try to do things as quickly as possible with as little effort as possible, but that doesn't inherently mean I'm lazy. It just means I like to get things done the best way possible.
Hello, my name is Lucy, and I like writing poetry, spending time with my dogs, and watching funny programs such as The In-Betweeners, The Big Bang Theory, and also I enjoy going to work every day.
My name is Omar Bradshaw, and as people already know, I plan to be the first World Cup winning manager for the national side of Barbados. I support Arsenal at club level. Not as happy with our form as I could be. I mean, we shouldn't have gone behind to West Ham United in the first place, but we were away from home, so I can't really complain.
Hello, my name is Savannah. I'm 21. I like all things creative. I especially love art and music. If I could, I would travel the world and learn all the histories behind art. And my favorite hobby is writing fiction basically.
Hi guys, I am Kathy. I'm 23 years old and my current job I'm doing is at Nando's and I love it. My speciality hobby is bikes and use toes. I applied for a bike mechanic in last year or the year before that. And I just love working on bike stripping and putting them together, working with people, young people.
Hi everyone, my name is Jodie. I'm a singer-songwriter. I enjoy being creative, writing poetry, taking pictures, and that's me.
Hi, my name's Joyce. I'm in the support internship program. I like listening to music.
Hi, I'm Natasha. I'm the head of HR from Rapport. Been in the business 4 years. Rapport, we are a provider of guest services. So we provide front of house and back of house roles into lots of big organisations.
Hi everyone, my name is Catherine. I am one of the account managers for Rapport. I've been with Rapport now for over 3 years, and my current role, I look after about 10 sites within London and also regional, and the team is about 32 people now.
Hello everyone, my name is Monica and I've been working for Rapport for 5 years now, and for the last 2 years I've been looking after one of the biggest portfolios in the contract across the Regent Street. So my team is made of 29 wonderful team members. We are looking after 16 buildings, and this combine residential buildings, but also commercial and corporate.
Hi everyone, my name's Emily. I'm the Learning and Engagement Business Partner for Rapport. I've been with Rapport for 1.5 years and I love the company. One of our values is stronger together, and that really means that we work as a team and we support each other, which I love.
Jodianne, do you find communicating with people challenging? And if so, what are the challenges?
Yes, I do find communicating quite challenging. I find the eye contact and just I just find it difficult, but I am getting some help with a few of my job coaches, like Marvin, Carleen, Karen. Yeah, for example.
Communicating, I find communication all okay at first. Like at first, it's very nerve-wracking. I do get anxious, and I find eye contact to be a problem. But once I get used to the environment, I'm just myself basically. And either the person will see me as a polite and welcoming person, or they'll think I'm just very quiet, but that's just me getting used to the environment.
Hello, Harry.
Hello.
Questions should people avoid asking anyone who is on the autistic spectrum?
Oh, okay, give me a minute. Let me think. One thing about asking questions, I'm sorry if I sort of misunderstand that slightly, but one thing with just asking questions in general for people who are on the autistic spectrum, at least for me, I'm not sure if everyone has it, but I'm terrible at this. It's the fact that getting put on the spot is quite a common problem. So when you ask someone just randomly out of the blue, don't expect them to immediately answer back, because as you saw there, it's quite easy to be caught off guard when asked certain questions.
Can you name a positive that you take from being on the autistic spectrum?
One positive of having autism is that with me, I am able to focus on one particular task, like, for example, writing poetry.
Hi, Esther. So as someone on the autistic spectrum, what social events do you enjoy?
For me, I went to my workplace at Fortuna Healthcare.
Mm-hmm. So you see going to work as being part of your social life. That's something where it's a chance for you to get out, and it's a chance for you to enjoy yourself, yes?
Yes. I like to spend my life of TikTok dance movement on my new iPhone.
Hi, Omar. Can you tell me, how can employees make your workplace more inclusive for you?
Clear and direct speech. I prefer for someone to just come out and tell me that they don't like me and that they want to smash my face in or whatever. Then it's all cut. Because at least then I know, yeah, I can work with this person because they're honest. I can respect that. Because people in this world, they don't say what they mean. That gets very confusing for me. So if someone says something or is going in a direction and you're thinking, in fact, I've got recent examples, I'm not going to go into them, but like someone was going in a direction with the texting, and I was thinking, okay, am I correct or am I wrong? And I ended up being wrong, but also correct at the same time. It's confused. The world is confusing.
And so you prefer people to just be as direct as they can?
Yes, and that's part of why I prefer to. Yeah.
Hi, Lucy.
Hello.
Can you tell me, how could employers improve the interview process for people who are on the autistic spectrum?
How I think people with autism in interviews can be approached is by you can take talking simple language. Eye contact can be quite hard, so they may feel sometimes if the interview person doesn't know that the individual has autism, they might think they're not interested in the job, when actually it's because they're anxious or finding it hard. Also, facial expressions and body language can be hard to understand, and that the person may be anxious, so give them time to process what you've said and then answer the question.
There's a few things that we're just going to have a general round table discussion. This is where anything goes, okay? Is there anybody that would like to make any comments with regards to being on the autistic spectrum that they think people should know?
If I don't know how it is for other people on the spectrum, but I prefer to be left to my own devices. Like, I prefer being alone to being around people. That sounds weird, but oh well. And if an autistic person says something and it's just off the mind, and like, we're direct when we do say what we're saying, we're very direct, and that could be misconstrued as rude when the intention isn't to be rude, it's just to say what we're thinking.
So can I ask you a question, Omar, please?
Go ahead.
I walk into Nando's. You're there.
Yeah.
I don't know your history. How do we break that barrier?
The way I see it is like, and another thing with autistic people as well that I forgot to mention is that if we're not feeling something, we kind of just, like, if I'm feeling angry, I find it difficult to not make that visually. I try, but like, it's always like, if I'm in a mood, I've been called rude by customers for this reason, actually. Like, if I'm in a mood and even though I'm trying to be polite, I'm not saying it polite. I've been told that it's the tone I say it with as well. The tone I say it with makes people think I'm being rude when, like, I don't mean to be rude. I'm just in a mood about something else or someone else or whatever. And that we don't find it easy to have blank tones or to not put our emotional spectrum in our tones. And to break that barrier, be clear and direct. Like, as Lucy said, give us time as well. Like, if you're, like, obviously with some things, you don't have to give us, but with specific things, like, you might have to give us time or have a bit more patience with us, because, like, another thing is our sense of hearing is very sharp, and it's sometimes annoyingly sharp. So a lot of sounds will meld together, and it's hard to explain.
Okay, but I think I've got the picture, and I think you've done very, very well in explaining that. Has anyone else got something that they want to say?
I can actually pick up on what Omar was saying when it comes to the sharp sounds, if you'd like.
Go ahead, mate.
I think in science it's called hypersensitivity, but I'll break it down into as like layman's terms as possible. With some people that are on the autistic spectrum, I am actually a great example of this, unfortunately. There are certain sounds, like maybe a vacuum, for instance, that will be very, very loud to us, while other things we may not actually be able to hear. What the frequencies that we can hear are like a little bit more wider, I guess, if I was to put it into a scientific perspective. But certain sounds, like the high-pitched ring of a vacuum from a faraway room, can irritate our ears, while at the same time we can also feel very annoyed by certain sounds, like the flickering of a light bulb or something. Different particular sounds, sensations, textures, etc., any type of sense can be quite irritating, but usually the common ones are just constant light sounds that for maybe an autistic person might be quite obnoxious. For me, it tends to be I actually can't wear, before when I was younger, because a lot of my traits as an autistic person were more apparent when I was younger, unfortunately. I couldn't wear jeans because the texture was just so, I hated it. Absolutely hated it. I didn't get a rash. I didn't get anything like that, but the texture was just, it drove me up a wall. And I always wore tracksuits from then on. Now I can wear them just fine, just because I've just grown with it. I'm just fine with it now. But some things just get very, very obnoxious for us to deal with. So it's always nice to just be like, we tend to be quite honest people, just like as Omar said. So you'll kind of tell if we get irritated by something. We'll try to keep it in, but you might see a couple of signs.
Excellent stuff. What is, someone answer this for me, what is the biggest misconception about people that are on the autistic spectrum?
If I may just quickly pop in and says, I personally think I grew up with this when I was going for like primary school and that. I don't know how severe it was because my memory is terrible. But one big fallacy with the autistic spectrum I hear every now and again is that if you had the people with autism are less intelligent than average. Now, obviously, some people, I guess it makes sense to some, but personally, I don't. I wouldn't say I am Einstein, but I'd like to think that I'm as intelligent as anyone else. And I guess it's just a simple case of, like, personally, I'm just thankful that understanding of special needs in general, not just autism, has jumped leaps and bounds since back when I was very young, because God knows not many people really understood our angle on things. But I'm just happy to say that if you think that someone with autism is less intelligent or has less capability than anyone else, then you need to double check your sources, because that's very wrong. Depends on the person. I'm afraid, not just because we have this different way of thinking.
Great stuff.
About it.
Nice one, Harry. Thank you very much indeed.
Autism's on a super wide spectrum nowadays. You can't just contain us as the less intelligent. It's not that simple nowadays.
No, definitely not.
Okay. Anyone else want to say anything?
I would like to say something.
You said that.
Savannah.
Go ahead, Savannah.
Yeah, I actually like how people are beginning to learn more about different disabilities, because back when I was in primary school, children with severe disabilities like autism used to be actually segregated from other children. Even children with learning disabilities used to be taken out of like classes, and it will be seeming like we've been behind on lessons and stuff like that. And when I did look back in primary school, there were actually a lot of smart children with autism, but it's the fact that they couldn't be around loud noises. And the teachers that were taking care of them didn't take time out of like a minute to even explain why this child was screaming or upset about noise. Like, they didn't explain anything, because all I knew is that I was confused. And growing up, there was a lot of children that were like complaining in a rude way about why this child is screaming. And how I learned about autism is because my mom and a boy's mom, because he broke my glasses by accident, and she told me that he thinks differently, and he thought I was playing with him, but he didn't know he was being a little too overboard. So what I did, and I was only 8, so what I did was study it, and now I know how to talk with people different levels, and know that I have to like change the way I talk as well sometimes, because even the tone can annoy them. Your tone of voice can annoy a person with autism because they'll feel like you're being condescending in a way, if you understand what I mean. Because they'll misunderstand, or like you could be talking to them normally in what you feel is normal, but they'll think it's condescending, or they'll think like, or they'll know it's condescending, if you understand what I mean. Because they have a sense that you're being rude or you're being too forceful in the way you're speaking. So I feel like there should be more people that need to learn about autism, basically.
Good stuff. Excellent stuff. All right, before we wrap up, there's a couple of things that I would like to point out. Cyrus, would you say that being on the autistic spectrum is the same as having a learning difficulty?
Yes and no.
Okay.
It as aforementioned, it tends to be, it's quite a wide spectrum. Autism can be all the way down from the lower functioning, where people may not actually have the best motor skills, all the way up to high functioning, where you may meet people like me and Harry, who tend to be quite articulate. I've been told this, by the way. I'm in no way trying to boast. That's the word I was looking for.
They're not lying.
As a precaution, but that's pretty much what I've been told. But when it comes to the spectrum, it's just so wide that you can't really, I don't want to say lump us in, but that's pretty much what has happened over the years. We've kind of just they tried to categorize so many different people as just one sort of term, but really it's a collective, it's an umbrella term. There are so many different types of autism, there's so many different types of people. You're going to get differences. There is going to be such a large differentiation, and you're never going to know until you actually like look into it more, so do your own research, independent or corporate or otherwise, whichever it may be. What was the other part of your question? I know I've answered one part of it. Sorry.
Well, you said yes and no, so you've given me the no, I think. I'm quite interested to see
how it can be a learning difficulty, right?
Yeah.
It's just it can be because while I'll give an example with mine, because mine is Asperger's syndrome, which I believe translates to having a higher than average intelligence or something like that. But that is the definition, and as Savannah did touch up on, people like us are very, very fast thinkers. If you were to tell me to do something in programming, I could have already conceptualized the whole thing in my head. But sometimes we just need processing time, and people don't really realize that. So while we're sitting there like a lemon, just like, we might actually be just thinking about what you may have just asked. You might be asking a question or asking us to do it like a certain project. We need time to process it, just like anybody else. Some things that may be so far out of our scope, we need to start thinking outside of the box and whatnot. That's where it can people can see it as a learning difficulty. On top of it all, I struggle with complex anything. Any sort of complex structure, task, or anything that you tell me to do, while you might think that I can grasp it just like that, partially right, if I've worked with it before. But if not, I need to sit there, I need to take my time, and just like anybody else, they actually need to just think, okay, how am I going to do this? I need to plan this, I need to do that, I need to do the third, and congregate like all these different thoughts.
In closing, is there anything that anyone else would like to say?
Yes.
Go, Carlini, I go.
Thank you. I'd just like to say that, it's not about the disability or the special needs for that person or anybody. It's about them being a human being first. Disability comes after. So I strongly dislike when people say that disabled person, the person first. it's Lucy with autism, it's Carlene with autism, it's
It's
Carlene
me
with,
too.
let's keep it real. It's about the social role valorization. It's about having people to be included and for them to partake and to feel a part of the community and a part of their world. Everybody's equal. They have that equal right. Let's not try and shut people into different boxes and say, this is how you work and this is how you speak. This is how you should look. This is how you should walk. No, everybody's individualized. And as Cyrus have said here just now, and all the other interns on this platform have said, that everybody is different. They might all be under one or similar box, this spectrum, but there's different levels. And so we need to get to know that person, get to know them as a person first. And they've got such amazing talents, and there's so many layers to each and every one of them. Each day we're learning something new, but if they are set to know something, or they know a particular area, they know it inside and out. I can give Cyrus an example. He's into his ICT. He can go to the back configurations and tell you the inside and outside of computers. Lucy is very up with always sending me messages about autism, always anything to do with autism. She's like our ambassador. She's constantly sending things and saying, like, have you seen this? Look at this, watch this program, da, 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 da. So there's so many different layers. So I just thank each and every one of them that's on the course, because we are learning daily, and that's the way to be, for it to be open. Let's keep continuing with these conversations and just go forward.
Natasha.
I mean, I would just echo exactly what you've just said, which you put far more eloquently than I possibly could have. Thank you everyone for kind of spending a couple of hours this evening with us. I mean, I think it's really important that we continue to have these conversations, and although we are highlighting autism, it's World Autism Awareness Week, and we wanted to kind of shine a light on that. I think what you say about everyone being a person first is so important. And I mean, I am so inspired by everyone's creativity, hobbies, skills, and I feel shameful that I don't have better creativity. But I just thank you everyone for your time. I've really enjoyed this evening and spending time with you. I think more separate aside to the other things that we were here to do, it's been really nice connecting with everyone, and it's really nice to get together and just laugh and have a bit of banter. So it's, after a long day, it's been welcomed.
Great stuff. Esther.
Thank you.
For me, and I got autism as well, because I got learning difficulties and learning disabilities as well. And it was so very emotional decision when I had taking medication makes me feel calm and very flexible, and I have to calm myself down, that sometimes I'm too high or too low when you're feeling very emotional. Talking about autism, talking about supporting autism, being autistic, and then learning so much opportunities. You need to work hard, making good abilities. It depends what you are struggling going on, and giving them a chance to prove yourself into normal lifetime.
Well done, Esther. Very quickly, Harry.
Yeah, I just want to basically say, like, everyone's right. Carlene, your point was amazing. My mom's nearly crying.
No, I'm not. I'm just trying very, sorry, Harry's mum. I'm trying very hard to keep my mouth shut because that was my orders.
But yeah.
All right, I'm going to close up now.
Thank you, Harry. Thank you, Karen.
Thank you so much to everybody that's taken part in this very, very, very worthwhile project today. To the members of Rapport, thank you very much indeed. To Marvin and Carlene, and to all the participants from Wesley, thank you very much indeed. My name's Martin Abraham. Together with Alison, we're from Haringey Mencap, and we both went on a course and we studied understanding autism. And I'm going to tell you what I came away with. Firstly, I think that everybody in the world has a little bit of autism in them. Yeah. I think that the people that are diagnosed as being on the spectrum are within certain realms of the autistic spectrum. And what I can tell you is that no one person on the autistic spectrum is the same as another. And so it is up to us to learn how to communicate and treat people that are on the spectrum. And unfortunately, they're not going to walk around with a sticker on their forehead saying I'm on the spectrum. Yeah. So you've got to be smart enough to work it out for yourself. You've got to be patient enough to work it out for yourself. And you've got to be kind enough to work it out for yourself. And I think if we can continue to do things like this, we will make people want to learn a little bit more. I would urge everybody to do at least one course, Understanding Autism, because it will change the way that you treat people generally in life. So thank you very much indeed for watching this. I hope it's been enjoyable and educational for you. And until the next time, we're out.